Hello ladies, gentlemen, boys, girls, innies, outies and in-betweeners. My name's Dan. Welcome back to another PAP Reports. Today is Monday the 23rd of March 2020. Today we're starting with something a little different. The reason being is because I know not everybody watches to the end, and I think personally this is important. Last week Spain went into lockdown over coronavirus after taking a zero tolerance approach to people on the streets, with roadblocks, helicopters and drones searching people out to ID, arrest and fine them. Now, I'm always talking about our rights and that we should stand up for them, and that has not changed. Without our rights we are prisoners, but there is a difference between choosing to restrict some of our rights and being forced to have them restricted. Whatever your thoughts are on this coronavirus, we as human beings have a duty to help each other and to help keep us all safe. By choosing to distance ourselves or choosing to self-isolate for a short time rather than being forced to do it has to be the better option. If things are taken too far, then our rights will be restricted by legislation and there will be literally nothing we can do about it. We'll be arrested and fined, and I can imagine the fine will be hefty. However, the main issue here is that we will be forcibly restricted, and once that happens, it's going to be a long time before we get those rights back, and that's if we ever get them back in full. There are reports flying about 6 ambulances having their tyres slashed. There were reports over the weekend of people spitting, hundreds of thousands of people going to places and gathering in groups still. Real clever. And that's really going to help prevent a full lockdown. It doesn't matter what your beliefs are regarding this situation. If we don't start using our heads, we're going on full lockdown and it will be our own fault. We have to do what we can to mitigate the potential for forced restrictions. I, for one, certainly don't want the government telling me my rights are gone. I would rather be the one to make that choice myself. Remember though, at the moment, while it's simply advice, we're only being asked to restrict some of the rights. If we don't do that, then the potential to have most, if not all of our rights restricted is going to be presented. No one's telling you yet what you can or can't say. No one's telling you that yet that you can't go out. No one's telling you yet that you have to ID, but all this could change if we don't take sensible precautions, and there's going to be nothing we can do about it. We have to remember not to give the government a reason to implement these restrictions, because once they do, things are likely never going to go back to the way they were before. Anyway, that's my little rant over. Regardless to what I believe personally about this incident, and there are many conspiracy theories, none of that matters if we're forcibly restricted. And now let's resume normal service. First, we have an update to PC Julian Crimes Misconduct hearing that was being held last week, and I mentioned that in PAP Reports on the 9th and on the 17th of March. PC Julian Crimes, who was based in Huntingdon Police Station in Cambridgeshire, was in front of a misconduct panel last week for allegations that he breached the standards of professional behaviour in respect of duties and responsibilities amounting to misconduct and honesty and integrity amounting to gross misconduct. All of the allegations were proven in respect of his handling of a case of 23-year-old William Stillwell, who was found dead in Sussex in November 2015 after Julian Crimes failed to revise his risk assessment, contact Mr Stillwell's mother, circulate Mr Stillwell's name on a police national computer, or contact Sussex Police or British Transport Police after receiving additional information which could have led to Stillwell being found. He also tried to cover up his failings by giving false evidence at an inquest into Stillwell's death. The hearing concluded on Friday, just gone, and Crimes was dismissed without notice. Deputy Chief Constable Jane Guyford said, "The public should be able to trust that police officers will always be truthful and open and act professionally at all times. We expect the highest standards of integrity from our officers, but PC Crimes Misconduct has been found to have fallen short of our expectations. I hope this outcome offers some reassurance to Mr Stillwell's family that officers and staff will be held to account for their actions. If only we saw more of them being held to account more often." South Cumbria-based PC Stuart Ayling up next is faced with sack today after allegations he sent official police information to a member of the public and posted it on social media. Ayling is said to have forwarded a police intelligence bulletin marked official from his work's email account to his private email account, and then onto a private email account of a member of the public. He is then said to have posted the bulletin onto a Facebook group. His behaviour is said to have breached standards of professional behaviour relating to duties and responsibilities, confidentiality and discreditable conduct. The hearing was due to take place at Cumbria Police HQ at Penrith today, and as soon as I have more information, I'll let you know. And what's interesting about this report is that it suggests that the case will be held in public due to new legislation introduced in 2015, and that Cumbria Police say that misconduct hearings should be held in public to improve transparency and accountability. But we're still seeing many misconduct hearings being held in private. Strange that. And now something that really shouldn't surprise any of you at all. Metropolitan Police Deputy Assistant Commissioner Matt Horne, who is also Head of Professional Standards, is being probed over gross misconduct and criminal allegations. Matt Horne is accused of accessing confidential information relating to a case against him in a misconduct hearing in 2018 when he worked for Essex Police, and where he was found to have breached standards of behaviour after throwing a stress ball at a junior colleague and telling Superintendent Glenn Mallory he was a fucking cunt over disorganisation in the Essex Police control room. On that occasion, although the allegations were proven, he was told he would face no further action due to his outstanding service. Surprise, surprise. The new allegations claim that Horne got info from a City of London police commander, Dave Clark, who though has already left the police, faces a separate investigation. Last Thursday, the IOPC announced it was probing alleged breaches of Section 55 Data Protection Act. Anyone convicted under data laws can get a £5,000 fine by JPs or an unlimited one at Crown Court. Even after the previous misconduct hearing, Horne was then promoted to Head of Professional Standards with the Met, giving him a £147,000 a year role. It is said that he will be on restricted duties during investigation, which no doubt means the police are still paying him. As normal, when new information becomes available, I will of course let you know. Thank you to Charles for the following. Gloucestershire police are being investigated over claims that retired police are being paid up to £650 a day from a Home Office backed police cyber project that was previously staffed by cyber specialist volunteers from GCHQ. But whistleblowers claim that the retired police being used to fill the roles did not understand the technology, and one could barely switch on a mobile phone. The project was aimed at tackling finance crime and the hacking of X-rated pictures from women's mobile phones. Not quite sure why they're looking at X-rated images on women's phones, but who knows what goes on in the police's heads. The Independent Office for Police Conduct is also probing claims that some roles in the Gloucestershire police scheme were not advertised, which of course would then allow them to offer roles to selected people rather than hiring outsiders. One source believes around £175,000 a year was diverted to pay consultants. Scott McGreedy, who quit the project after making allegations, said one former officer on a conference call said, "I can't get into my laptop, it has run out of passwords." That's something my mother wouldn't even say. GCHQ scientists did this at night to give back to the community. Then people who didn't understand technology were drafted in, he said. Gloucestershire Police said it has referred 2 complaints to the IOPC. And isn't it nice to see that even when retired, the good old boys club still look out for each other over everyone else. And another one from Charles, thank you. The UK government has brought back to the UK a convicted paedophile who was serving time in a high security prison in Greece. 59-year-old Douglas Barr was transferred from a Greek prison to what's been called a cushy prison, Wakefield in Yorkshire, just before Christmas. Barr was sentenced to 19 years in 2016 after being found guilty of a catalogue of sex and violence offences against children on the island of Crete. Abuse he inflicted on victims included shaving off their eyebrows and locking them in a rubbish-strewn basement. Barr and his wife Julie lived in a villa on Crete where they received huge handouts from British taxpayers. Barr had previously moaned about how conditions were so bad in Greek jails that he had to buy his own toilet roll. Well, you're not going to get any extra here, pal. One of his victims has spoken out and said, "Barr has got what he wanted. Back to the UK. Wakefield prison might seem like a tough regime by British standards, but it's a walk in the park next to a jail in Greece. He certainly wouldn't have had a TV in his cell or access to emails or anything like that over there. I hoped he'd die in Greece behind bars. He'll consider it a cushy existence being back in Britain. What's worse is I wasn't told he was being moved. Victims of these sort of crimes are meant to be kept informed, but that's gone out the window. I've been in contact with the British authorities since his conviction, so it's untrue to say that they wouldn't have been able to tell me he was being moved. Barr, who lived in Leeds but was originally from Dundee, moved to the Crete town of Tavronitis with his wife Julie in 2007, and I've probably pronounced that wrong. The couple received benefits of around £4,500 a month from the UK taxpayer, which funded a lavish lifestyle, with Barr telling other expats that he lived off of a good pension. Julie fled back to Britain before she was convicted in her absence to a year for child cruelty. She was not pursued to serve her sentence in Greece and is believed to now be in Yorkshire. A spokesman for Ministry of Justice said transferring Brits convicted overseas of serious sexual or violent offences to British jails ensures authorities were aware of them. Maybe then, Ministry of Justice, we should send all of the foreigners that are in our jails back to their fucking countries. Just a thought. I mean, I don't really think it's such a bad thing, forgetting about people like that and letting them rot in jail while servicing each of the prison gang's head honchos. Very big thank you to Patreon supporters Motilad, Holly, AD, Dave, Ian, Copwatch UK, Dean and Jay, whose support is helping me to continually provide you with this daily content, especially as almost every report contains content that's deemed unsuitable for most advertisers. Anyway, that's all I have for you today. Please like, share, comment and subscribe. Let me know your thoughts, as I know many of you will. And until next time, stay safe, look after each other, film the police, now more than ever, and other officials.
Good night, all.
Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. If you like the content and you'd like to help support the channel, you can do so. In the description of every video there are some links to ways that you're able to help support the channel so I can continue putting out content. If you're unable to help us in that way, hit that subscribe button up the top there. If you haven't already, become a subscriber. That is support enough. Share the videos, comment, like, it all helps. If you're looking for something else to watch, up top there is my latest video. Down the bottom there is a video that YouTube recommends for you.